Every time I go to do one of these intro dialogue or voice line videos, what I do is I pull up all the voice lines and I listen to every single one of them, and as I'm listening to them, I write down each one that stood out to me. In the past, this usually ends up being like 15 or so I shorten it to around about 10. With Starfire, I ran into a problem where I actually found like upwards of 20. I'm talking like near 27-ish, like above 25. I forget exactly what the number was, so I cut it down to 20 for my video. And because of that, I had to change up the format. You guys said you didn't like the new format, so what I'm going to do in this video is return to the old format, but I've had to cut down so much awesome voice dialogue from Black Manta. This original list was at 24 voice lines, and I've managed to tone that down all the way to 10, so let's talk about them. This first one happens in the mirror match. I'm sure you've seen this in some videos because obviously there's been a ton of Black Manta mirror matches happening really recently. New character, of course. And I believe this is actually the first mirror match that I'm putting in one of these types of videos.
That gear belongs to me. I made this suit, freak. Let's see if it keeps you alive.
The reason I like this voice line so much is it kind of breaks the fourth wall a little bit. I just feel like you must play online sometimes and run into somebody and see their awesome gear and think something along those lines. That gear belongs to me. Or obviously a much more realistic version of that would be, oh, I want that gear. That gear looks awesome. How do I get that gear? And it makes Black Manta a little bit more relatable, considering that most of his voice lines fall under the more savage category and much more combative. This shows a bit of him that is very relatable in the fact that he also wants that awesome gear your opponent has. This next voice line is a interaction between him and Catwoman.
Nice outfit.
This helmet is my life's work.
That's why you don't have a girlfriend.
I actually experienced this voice line for the very first time in yesterday's video where it was like my first day playing Black Manta online, and I remember reacting to it. I was just like, what? Catwoman the Savage? Whilst this is more or less a Catwoman line, I do believe that this is the only time she has said this. I could be entirely wrong. I don't play a lot of Catwoman, so I think this is a Black Manta specific line, but even if it's not, it works particularly well in this instance. This next line is an interaction between him and Dr. Fate.
My father deserved a second chance. I cannot save everyone. Your magic is useless.
Obviously, the big thing here is that it calls back to Black Manta's story of his father dying, and even Dr. Fate felt bad about it. I cannot save everyone. Even though you saved Black Canary, why couldn't you save Black Manta's father? I'm just saying this. It just sounds like a tiny little bit of a double standard there. Dr. Fate might be playing bias, buddy. Might need to take off that Fate helmet. You might not deserve it. Anyway, moving on to the next voice interaction, or intro dialogue.
Only way out of here is through me.
And there's about to be a murder.
More like a back alley beatdown.
I just like all these lines, man. Black Manta just himself is a very aggressive character, and I like that a lot. The character himself is very confrontational, and even just a small interaction like that, he's threatening to murder Black Canary, who, just for a quick reminder, has a son about to murder a mother, but he just doesn't care. And that's not cool in the real world, but in this world where we're allowed to love bad guys, that's pretty cool. This next one here is with Vixen.
I've never understood what makes you tick.
I'm a totally depraved son of a bitch.
Guess some things in life are that simple.
I mean, I don't mean to be that guy. I really don't want to be that guy, but I'm gonna be that guy anyway. I really don't want to say I like this one because yay swearing, but I kind of like this one because, you know, yay swearing. While we're on the topic of Vixen, let's check out the next one.
You picked a great time to show up, Vixen.
And why's that, Manta?
I haven't killed someone all day.
Again, this goes back to Black Manta not having any remorse for the things he does, and I love that they portray that as much as possible with the intro dialogues. This next one is with Darkseid.
You're not the first megalomaniac I've met. Past experience has left you ill-prepared. I fought the crime syndicate and won.
Nice little reference there to the Crime Syndicate. We don't have a whole lot of Crime Syndicate in the game right now. The only Crime Syndicate thing we have in the game right now, I believe, is Grid. There might be some gear piece that references something else, but Grid's the only one I'm aware of. So, yeah, I appreciate the shout out. It also just shows how badass Black Manta is. A lot of people might assume he's not that strong of a character to people who don't know him, just because he's an aquatic character and a character that is a villain to Aquaman, who has historically been portrayed not very powerfully. This next one is with Jay Garrick.
There's no ambiguity to your evil.
You got a problem with that, Garrick?
No, it's refreshingly old-fashioned.
I don't know if it's just my Flash bias coming through here, but I just love interactions with Jay Garrick. And I think these two personalities really clashed quite well. Honestly, this next one, I was a little bit surprised with. It kind of hit me, like I was listening to all the voice lines and I was kind of doing it in the background. I was doing something else, I was multitasking. And I heard this voice line in the background. I had water in my mouth at the time and I was like, what? And I almost like spit out my water.
Don't break the deal, Deadshot.
What's to be afraid of?
Cross me, and I'll take your daughter.
See what I mean? You can't just say that. What the heck? You just threatened the man's daughter. You just can't do that. That's not fair at all. Black Manta needs to chill. This next one's with Power Girl. Power Girl always seems to make her way onto these lists.
Is that a helmet or a cranial condition?
It's a pressurized heat ray.
Functional, I like it.
And clearly she makes her way onto these lists for good reason. She always just has these really good interactions. I don't know what it is about the character, but whenever there's a new character in the game, she always just seems to clash really well with them because of how snarky she is. That's it. That's the 10 voice lines from Black Manta that are my absolute favorite right now. Tomorrow's video is actually going to be a unique one. I thought I was going to do a Q&A, but I'm going to actually take one question for my Q&A that I thought was very interesting, and we're going to do an entire video about it. So that'll be coming tomorrow. Thank you guys for all the support recently. I will see you in tomorrow's video.